So I am a Philly girl. So I was born there, was raised there, went to college there. And I started my career in education at George School, which is a Quaker boarding day school. In high school, I played a little bit of soccer, but my sport was volleyball. So I was a setter pretty much for grades 9 through 12. And then, when I got to college, I stopped because I'm a little bit on the short end. For fun and relaxation, I like to cook. I like to run and lift weights in my spare time. I'm a big sci-fi fan. Yeah. So, Battlestar Galactica. I came to Minnesota. We moved over at the end of June. So it's been, a little over 2.5 months. We love it. Okay. We love it. Although people have said, wait till winter comes. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. My husband's name is David. And then I have 2 sons who are both SPA students.
And then you mentioned science. Like, what got you into science, and then what kind of pulled you away, I guess?
That started with really Mr. Kaiser. He was just one of those teachers who inspires you from day one. And he was the one who actually said, Minnie, you should be a teacher. You should think about teaching. And it didn't happen that way that, I took his advice. I kind of thought I was going to medical school. And then in taking a break, I started teaching at George School just for a year, and then thinking I was going to go to medical school. And then that 1 year of experience just changed my perspective.
What about it changed your perspective?
Just being with kids. I like the fact that, subjects that like chemistry and bio, which are often, I think, might be perceived as inaccessible. My goal as a young teacher was to make it accessible for all students, right? So opening pathways for females especially, who might not have had great experiences in science before. And so that was really important to me. And I realized, growing up in high school, like in terms of identity, Clara, it wasn't, I wasn't in a place where I went to a really large public school. And so that environment didn't foster identity for me. That's something I negotiated a lot in high school and actually well into adulthood. Yeah. So I was a teacher who really taught based off of what I knew from experience. I didn't really consider the full scope of pedagogical strategies until I attended a professional development workshop that shed light on how the brain works. And that really opened my eyes and my tune to teaching, talking to teachers about, collaborative work, about learning strategies like retrieval practice and space practice, right? So taking what neuroscientists are learning and then bridging that to education in the classroom. One of the reasons I came here was, I looked carefully at different mission statements of schools, and the mission statement spoke to me. It's very similar to that of George Schools. The students impressed me on the interview day. I really enjoyed talking to them, hearing about their stories, hearing about what they think needs to be improved at SPA, and the faculty, right? The faculty, they work so hard, they're committed, and they deeply care for students, right? Yeah. And of course, Dr. Otley, he really, he sold it. This year, one of my goals is listening to students, observing classes, working with faculty, to think through student-centered programs. And I think, one of my goals is just to collect feedback. And from that feedback, that's how you make continuous improvement at schools. And of course, I want to get to know kids. That's what I miss most.